his buds here, his cohorts on Space Force. So here we go. Launch out taken by Pyro, Polar Bear first. Snared though by Cakester as he just squeezes that through on the tunnel and back to mid area. Dano is going to be in that general area trying to contest. You see Anime there spreading out for a good pass. So that was good awareness from Anime. Good to see him here in competitive play. After being a player in Echo for so long, looking for a short pass. Couldn't quite get it as teammates perhaps not looking. Kind of diving on that goalie. So right there, Dano takes it away as he looks for a boost, but a lot of leeches going off and getting stopped dead in their tracks is Space Force. But on the other end, Dano here, now Pyro in the goal and a tough roll trying to go for that shot, but taken back here and back again. Cakester looking for that clear, but gets it intercepted by Curry in a hurry. Passing it over to Dano. Dano looking to the other side. So good looks on the passing here. Dano collecting this one, going off the backboard and gently into the bottom. So nice way to start it off for Chaos. 2 points on the board.
11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Pardon me, just getting a drink. I seem to be suffering from a lot of dry throat tonight. Not to mention spilled drinks all over my keyboard a couple streams ago. Always a fun thing. But over here trying to spill maybe a shot into the goal for Space Force, but it's cut off beautifully by Cakester. So Cakester, you can see he clears it. He immediately turns around to look for a grab or a brawl. Just trying to keep those actions per minute right on up for his team as that shot careens off the back and now tapped into the corner pocket and back into the tunnel now. So taking it here, taking a shot as well. Just missing that. The defense able to recover for Chaos, but being snuck up on. Anime for life. Looking for some life here for Space Force. They need some life force with a couple minutes off on this first round. So Anime takes this one, looks for a short range pass to Pyro. Just trying to collect himself. Make sure not to give it away, but stolen here by Cakester now. And slung into the backfield. So some more stacks coming on through. Taking it over though. Dano goes for the 2-point goal. Good look for him and for Chaos going up by 4.
11, 10, 9, 8, 7.
Chrome Platypus saying let's go Ender slot, the only level 51 player. Is he? And I thought the only misleveled person in the game was Rad Dave. I don't know what he is nowadays, but for a while he was, I think, level 100. Maybe level 0 at some point. I don't know. Dave is always messing with his profile, but I guess that's the benefits of being a lead dev, eh? But over here, a shot couldn't quite hit the center. Recovered by Cakester and backing it out to Dano, but out of his reach. Luckily, they have couple guys there in the back line to still recover, so Farafo takes that and sends it to Cakester. So good positioning here, triangle formation. The shot a little bit off. Again, we've seen a couple of those, but rebounding it a few different times now. Seems like Chaos is just having a lot of success on these recoveries. Both offensively and defensively, they're getting to the disc first, but for Space Force, not paying for it too much yet. They're only down by 4, and now maybe have some offense here if Pyro can dodge, and he does. So Lanzin saying that Ender's lot is 51. So how did that come to be? I must know the deets. Obviously, Ender's a long-time player here. But no matter how long you play, you shouldn't be level 51. I call shenanigans. But here it goes for a pass planned up to Arrow Knight. Couldn't quite get that, so Dano will retain and send it. 10K games, you say. David gave him 51 for it. Huh. Well, good for him. And go figure, it would be Dave involved in that somehow. I was mentioning Dave totally separately from Enders, but no, it makes sense. Yeah, 10K games is quite the achievement there. That's a lot. That's an Ender's lot. But yeah, that's pretty cool. Over here, Cakester, though, doling it out. Doesn't find the clear, so back to Enders, the aforementioned. And getting the steal, Cakester just slinging it out of there off a nice grab. And there's the full stacks from both teams, sliding all through the floor, flying, and trying to find an anchor down low, waiting for his teammates to kind of find their positionings. Farafo looking up high to Cakester off a freshly stunned defender. And Curry in a hurry looking down to Farafo, just dodging through, a nice bouncer right off to Trounce for the goal. Chaos now up by 6.
12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3.
So Echo Arena trivia for you. I mean, a lot of people will know this, but I was the first level 50 player in the game. Took me like 3.5 days, 4 days, something like that to get there. Back when the game released. Long time ago, though. Pyro Polar Bear, he gets the goal as well, just a one-on-one. So Space Force now, courtesy the assist by Anime, gets themselves a couple points.
11, 10, 9, 8, 7,
But yeah,
6,
I was the first level 50,
4.
but I guess that doesn't compare at all to being the first to level 51 now, does it? So here it goes to Curry in a hurry, trying to find Cakester. A good approach there by Pyro Polar Bear, and results in this panic clear that gets intercepted at the midline. Now both teams kind of struggling to find their handles, so it will be just sent into the goal area, and more players coming through. That's going to be dangerous situation as Space Force proclaims the disc. And a stack over here in mid for Chaos, just losing each other briefly, so could not quite collect on the first attempt, but they do on the second. It's Cakester looking to the right, hitting Curry in a hurried stride. And now Arrow Knight taking place inside the goal. So backing it out, playing quite deep into this midfield. You can see Pyro just causing a lot of panic here for Chaos, and actually finds himself a steal and a clear. So good job from Pyro as these teams try and line up for some more stacks, but just more turnovers go back the way of Space Force into this side of the floor.
By Blue. Blue throws it way downfield.
And not too much in the way of possession time being handled for very long. Either team, they're just kind of being forced into these quick clears. There's a lot of midfield play going on. The defense really strong there. I mean, even there, Arrow Knight flying through the through the air. And getting it taken away. The spacing, not really what Space Force might want. It's going to be a tough catch there, just only inches between the two teammates there. So another clear as Chaos goes for the stacks. And maybe looking to attack here. Open three-point goal, and Dano does manage to capitalize. So 9-2, about a minute 50 left in the first round.
12, 11, 10, 9,
So again, Space Force coming in here with a win
6,
on the Knights just earlier on.
3.
Trying to do it again, though.
Teams have cleared the
So
line.
Arrow does get that right down to Enders. Actually goes right back up to Arrow as Farafo and Cakester play that bow tie. So good defense here as players roam all through mid, trying to take advantage. Cannot, so it goes into the corner pocket. Space Force looking to retain, and they do. Arrow, a good move right underneath the defense, ducking behind, and now just finding some passes again. Playing really nice patient game, but unfortunately that back pass, not quite to an open man, so to the other side it'll go as Curry in a hurry looks to collect that disc for his team. It's a 2-on-3 situation, turning into a 3-on-3, but now will be dumped right back out to the midline where an intercept will be had by Cakester. So Farafo receives this pass, and there buys himself more or less a one-on-one goal. There was a defender behind him, but couldn't quite get the grab. So 11-2 for Chaos as a result.
10, 9,
Mentioning Chaos before the stream, before the game started too, having a bit of a tough go of things in their first matchups, going against the current 5th and 6th place teams in North America, with Flare and Instinct for their first 2 matches. So Chaos 0-3 on the season, but you know, they have a fair reason. Going against some very tough competition. Right now, though, Chaos looking in pretty good position to maybe have some success and maybe make their first win of the season here, but still have another round to go. Space Force, the 2 points, but Chaos just kind of overwhelming with the 11.
This round's over and done. Orange comes out on top.
So we'll go to the highlight screen here right quick for you. See how that round went for Chaos with the 11 points. And it's going to be Dano leading the way. 7 points, 1 assist, 1 steal, 13 stuns. So nice filling of the stat line for him. Farafo, 4 points and a save, a steal. Cakester, an assist, 2 steals, 26 stuns, leading the game in that category. Curry in a hurry with the assist and 8 stuns. For Space Force, they get 2 points to Pyro Polar Bear, as well as a save and 11 stuns. We have Anime for Life assisting on that goal, along with his 2 steals and 15 stuns. Arrow Knight with a save and 6 stuns, and Enders with 14 stuns. Remember in the last stream, it was Lanzan correcting me, saying it's Enders Lot, not Enders Slot. So trying to be mindful of those little nuances in these names, as we're seeing, just a lot of players, a lot of new players to the VRML scene coming along. Enders, of course, again, he's a veteran player, not new to the game, just VRML. So from a caster's standpoint, new to me, but. All right, so second round about to start here. And taking it first, with plenty of time to spare, is Chaos, but actually doesn't matter because Anime comes on through. He's going to look for a clear and boost with Enders, it looks like. There's some boost just going on in the background, boost and brawling, so no one getting too much momentum. Arrow Knight finding this one. Pyro Polar Bear right back with him. Anime in the front, going down below the goal, and could not make it. It was really close, but a tight angle, and the brawler there for Chaos doing a good job just to bother. So Arrow takes over here for his team, looking to avoid Dano, and does so successfully. But Anime loses it off that Geo. That's always a tough situation whenever that happens. And look at that hurried stack from Chaos, just in no time at all. But unfortunately, maybe too hurried and too curried. But yeah, they overshot it, despite the fact that they were definitely much quicker. And now it finds itself back into the Chaos side. Just one defender there, Dano at goal. So see what they can make out of this play. Looks like a stun from Farafo or a Cakester down there. And then just another clear. But getting there with plenty of time. This time is Space Force. So not too much of a problem for them, but quick clear will be intercepted on the other end. Farafo now, a deep bounce shot attempt, but one guy in goal there, in goal area, just, gonna hurt it. Now that was almost a hurtful situation. We've seen some of these earlier tonight, but we've seen a few of them in this season and preseason, sometimes going for those back passes and off the backboard. It's rare, but it's not unheard of to see those own goals sometimes. They happen. But here goes Pyro Polar Bear trying to make something happen. Anime, the quick shot. Maybe a little bit too deep out there, though, on that goalie. But, the goal left open. So Arrow Knight, there you go, finding the lane for the 3-point hit. They'll gladly take it.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
See B-Love in there. And also, speaking of, I know B-Love did get that goal earlier. You're posting about it, but kind of as I said on stream, it's one of those things. It was the right idea, obviously, but just the sub situation, the chemistry not there, not expecting it, especially for newer teams in VRML. I mean, that kind of thing happens. I mean, it stinks, but it's happened to probably all of us, literally. At least at some point, any players who's played competitive arena, I think, has either own goal before on a back pass or has seen someone on their team own goal. It's not a big worry, and it's a long season, so otherwise, you were doing work in that game. But here it goes down into the bottom corner, just taken by Dano. I also see Zenny Dude popping up in there, and Soisy. talking about names earlier that we're just trying to get as casters. Soicy's one of them, as opposed to So Icy. But looking Soicy on some of these passing attempts, but actually taking it over with some contempt. It's Cakester. He's going to go for a deep pass. It's a beautiful delivery to Farafo. A tough angle, but he will make it. So he had to kind of realign himself, floating upwards, and he had the nest sort of in his field of view, but just had enough time to float above it and squeeze that through the defense that was trying to retreat. So nice job there. B-Love saying, so icy. So nicely, in fact. B-Love with the love. Cakester taking it over in the bottom area. And one in the goal already. That's Arrow. There's kind of a one-on-one situation maybe, but a quick shot taken by Dano. Not quite able to hit anything there, but still retaining momentarily. Cakester gets that one back. And right back up to Dano. So good two-man game on the passing plays, but too much pressure there. Pyro Polar Bear playing that one tightly on the defense. B-Love saying, can't help it because Soicy is cool. So Icy is cool. And that's pun points to B-Love as a nice dive from Arrow Knight. Takes that, but right back at him is Dano. Oh, but a little tough on the angle. Again, one of those tough angles to hit from when you're shooting a shot. Open goal, but just kind of forced into rushing that one and almost a save, but no, it was played very well for points here on Space Force.
11, 10, 9, 8,
That is to say, being scored on. But up by 2 with about half left in this second round. First one being taken by Chaos. And Arrow Knight looking to avoid the stacks there. But the stacks just as quickly redirecting into the disc. A pileup of Chaos players forming. Not really a lot of passing avenues, but they look for the perfect one. The solo player in the goal for that back pass. And we were just talking about, you know, how good it is to look for those back passes, and we see why right there. Because otherwise, the positioning from Chaos, it wasn't really conducive to some open passes. But because they had that one available, at least in the back line, and they made that pass, it kind of bought themselves some time and, you know, longer possession. Now Dano looking for a good leech, even sends a punch along the way, but look at all those Chaos players all coming in with just layers upon layers of speed, and then the offense, Curry in a hurry this time, buying some points for himself.
12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4.
So up by 4 points here is Chaos. Still have under 4 minutes left, and that's plenty of time to make up for a couple goals. Space Force here looking to avoid, but Anime for life kind of getting killed there by the dangerous fists of Chaos. And that pass, a near miss, still finds Curry in a hurry. So good positioning here on the defense, Pyro Polar Bear, but unfortunately threw it to the midline interceptor there. It's Dano, I believe. Another take, and just back and forth. A lot of punches from these two teams. Now looking for their stacks. So flying through on the attack. Just a brief overshoot. Cakester still takes it away. They've got themselves a lead. Now 3 minutes left. And another back pass. So good look from them. And the pass, second one to the tunnel. Tight angle still gets to Cakester. But yeah, that's one of those things in the Echo Arena meta that took a while to develop. Those back passes. For the longest time, no one did it. After some time, after I would say ESL Season 1 and 2 maybe, as this nice passing play. Wow, Chaos paving the way for an assisted goal from Cakester to Dano. It was a really soft one on that one from Cakester, that last pass, but yeah, for the longest time, too, no teams really utilizing the back pass, and it wasn't until sometime around Season 2 of ESL, VRL, that we started seeing some teams pulling it out, but even then, it was really only the top few teams, I would say. But now you're really seeing teams pretty much top to bottom, everyone really becoming well aware of this meta and just trying to buy themselves the best shot opportunities. And right there, Farafo does get it off the backboard. But I've mentioned in the past too, you know, in Season 1, like that's one of the things, I guess, just as a personal anecdote, I kind of prided my game on was that the passing game. I considered myself just to be kind of a team-oriented, team first. In the game, my jersey number, and even in real life when I did the competitions at LAN, as Ender's Lot goes in for a lot more points there. Space Force getting 5 now. But even, yeah, my jersey number 13, and that was after Steve Nash. And for those who don't know, Steve Nash, basketball player in real life, now retired, but one of the greatest point guards of all time. Played for my Phoenix Suns, and just fantastic passing ability and vision. And I kind of modeled my game in basketball after him, and then when I played Echo Arena, I modeled my Echo Arena game after them, and it translated, honestly, pretty well. Probably why I got into Echo so immediately and was, you know, was kind of ahead of the game in the passing sense for a while, just because, yeah, it's so much like a real-life sport. There's just a lot of translations, and it makes anyone who's familiar with sports, whether as a player or a spectator, as getting this shot, and that's going to be a beautiful one there from Pyro. So, hey, this actually makes things very interesting. It's a 3-point game. Now, there's not a lot of time, but we'll see. 15 seconds left after this joust is off. About 8 seconds or so, but we'll see. They're going to have a very quick joust for Space Force here. 5 seconds. And, oh, so right there, the joust was actually slow. That's going to be a deep shot, but there's a guy in the goal. So, unfortunately for them, over on Space Force could not cause that turnover quick enough and get to the front line. So, with that, a 2-0 win on this series. And 11-8 in the second round for Chaos. So let me enter that in real quick, and we'll go visit some of these highlights, shall we? But congratulations to Chaos there, because they did claim their first win here in the season. Still early on, obviously, so. But, yeah, look at that. 9 apiece for Farafo and Dano. Farafo also with 3 saves, a pair of steals, 23 stuns. Cakester with 3 assists. So that talking about the team play and assisting Steve Nash, all that good stuff. Cakester doing a little bit of nasty work for himself there with the 3 assists, and as well as 4 steals and 47 stuns, leading the way by a hefty margin in the stun department. Dano, again, 9 points, an assist, 3 steals, 24 stuns. Curry in a hurry, 2 points, an assist, a save, and 13 stuns. For Space Force, it was 3 points to Arrow Knight, 2 saves, steal, and 13 stuns. Anime for Life contributing a pair of assists, and there go my stats. So I guess that's that.